Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I consider myself incredibly blessed. And, you know, the representative from the 37th kind of stole my childhood story, although I'm a little bit his senior. But I didn't realize it at the time how fortunate I was to be growing up on a dairy farm where we got to get up very early in the morning, milk the cows, and then hopefully not get a real hot day to be doing the haying and stuff. And we did those small square bales back in the day. So, you know, I was fortunate because I was able to make a buck and learn work ethic as a young man. And some of my friends, they didn't have that opportunity because their parents maybe didn't farm, they didn't have their own business. And then fast forward, I was lucky to meet my wife in chiropractic school, and she came from central Wisconsin where she started out picking berries like my colleague here from the second was telling me his first job was. But picking berries and green beans and detasseling corn at the very young age in central Wisconsin. I think that might even be where the gentlelady from the 71st represents at this point. But my point is, we both had strong work ethic, and thanks to our parents for giving us the opportunity. You know, both of us got very good grades. We went on to get graduate level degrees. Truancy rates weren't an issue with us. Our parents obviously supervised and made decisions along with us as what was right for us and our families. And then I'm proud to say I've got 4 daughters. All 4 of my daughters have worked in my business at a very, very young age. In fact, you know, it's kind of timely because this past Sunday I woke up and was wondering why one of my vehicles was gone because my second daughter had left, and we were getting ready to go to church, and I asked my wife what had happened. And well, one of the other workers in this coffee shop, which you guys don't have down in this part of Wisconsin, but up where I come from in Minnesota, it's a very common, I think it's elk or caribou or something like that, but she works at Caribou Coffee up there in Menominee, and one of the other workers called in sick, and it was a college student. So obviously it was Sunday morning, maybe a little too late at night with the high life or something like that. But so my daughter had went into work on her own free will at 8 o'clock, or actually I think it was earlier than that in the morning, because she's trying to save up for college and save up for a better vehicle because she doesn't like the vehicle that her mom and I picked out essentially. But she also does very well in school. So, you know, a lot of my colleagues covered what this bill does and what it doesn't do. But this bill basically makes it more of a parental choice. It takes the schools out of it. My colleague previously to me kind of touched on that a little bit too. But no child labor laws are changed. The employer still needs to follow laws such as hour limits and time of day limits. And the gentlelady from the 71st mentioned some of these tragedies. Well, these are with work permits in place, so I would say, you know, like I do with many of my constituents that call upset about a law that's been broken, we need enforcement on these because we are not changing any of the employment laws that are already in place with this bill. This allows Wisconsin children and parents to make, obviously, their own decisions without having to consult a government agency or school for permission. This bill alleviates undue burden on children and families in Wisconsin. Currently, a school needs to be involved in a family's decision on whether or not a young person of 14 or 15 years old should be able to work. This usually amounts to little more than a parent signing a form with their child and bringing it into the school to have it signed by them as well. Then they pay the $10 and send it in along with. So I think really that's what our colleagues on the other side of the aisle object to, is that we would be getting rid of another government position, another government employee, and we'd be losing that $10 fee. I think that's really what it's about. This bill simply streamlines the process of a young person getting their first job. This bill does not change a single child labor law, and an employer still needs to follow every law that is in place for those people under the age of 18. The amount of hours a minor can work is not changed by the bill. The time of day a minor can work is not changed by the bill. The only thing this bill does is cut the red tape of needing another form and another entity's input in what a young person and a parent's decision can be. when a government should not be expected or necessary. In 2017, the state removed the work permit for 16 and 17-year-olds. 16 states have already removed work permits for minors. Work permits for youth serve as obstacles and oversight without adding any more protections, which once again, this bill does not change. It does not dilute them in any way. It does not change. I don't know how many times I need to repeat that. This bill eliminates the paper pushing and takes the third party out of the family's decision. So, recently it was President Reagan's birthday, and I think a fitting way to end this would be a good Ronald Reagan quote. I believe the best social program is a job. And this bill does not serve to replace a shortage. It just serves to create a habit and a work ethic with our young people. We're not looking for Chinese labor type sweatshops or that type of thing. This just sets a good work habit and pattern, which I am proud that we have in our family. So for me, the clear family choice and the choice for all of you, I think, should be green. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.